Holy headlights. This is Flight Check Season 2, Episode 19. Back one more time talking FlyQuest in all capacities, from staff changes to signings to summer seasons coming around the corner. We are here to talk about it, give our opinions, and delve out our thoughts. My name, as always, is Sandy Toes, and to my left and my extra left, as always, are my fellow hosts, Noxwar and Curly Double Q. Nox, I have to say, okay, so not sponsored by Wendy's, but I have this Wendy's lemonade here.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
Pretty sponsor us though, Wendy's.
If Wendy's wants to sponsor us, I'm all for this.
That would be great.
But Nox, I need to know what your favorite fast food lemonade is. And I know that's a very specific question, but I think this is important. I think it reveals a lot about a person.
My favorite fast food lemonade probably has to go to Cane's. Cane's lemonade is great. I love Cane's.
I actually think this is a fair take. I think this is a good fair take.
I'd definitely call it top 3. I don't know if I would say the best.
That's fair. Curly, I'll open it up a little bit more. How about best fast food French fry?
Best fast food French fry? Wendy's.
You know?
Was that for a while?
Oh, no.
Okay, do waffle fries count?
I mean, they're fries. They're technically fried
French
potatoes.
fry, technically, yeah.
Then Chick-fil-A wins there. Those waffle fries, bro. They're really good. They're really, really good.
I used to really like Chick-fil-A's fries, and these days I just don't for some reason. I don't know if they changed the recipe, but Wendy's fries, those things, they smack.
They are good.
I gotta tell you.
They do.
You're
You're just trying to get that Wendy's sponsorship.
Maybe.
That we talked about.
Maybe. But hey, speaking of things that will unexpectedly smack you on a Monday afternoon, Tricia Sugita resigned as CEO of FlyQuest, stepping down today. Obviously, we will be discussing that. We're going to hit that first, just talk about our thoughts on it. But we will also hit on Academy's strong start, 5-1. Way better than 0-6, let me tell you. We'll do our little summer LCS preview. And then, of course, we'll talk about FlyQuest signing another Smash player, J-Mook. I don't actually know how you're supposed to say it. And he and Kodorin both landed top 8s. Actually, they both tied for 5th place at Battle of BC this past weekend.
Top 6.
Yeah, top 6.
Solid finish.
Yeah. So, and we'll get into that too. So, lots to talk about tonight. And if you can't hear all of it, if you miss part of the show, don't worry. Don't you fret, because the VOD will be available here and on YouTube. On our channel, Flight Check Podcast, you'll also be able to listen to the audio version on all of your favorite listening platforms as well. And if you've got a listening platform and we're not on there, hey, let me know. Shoot me a DM and I'll see what I can do for you, because we want as much reachability as possible. All right. First topic of the day, and we got to talk about it as much as it's painful, but CEO Tricia Sugita, a.k.a. Megumi X-Bear, per her Twitter handle, did step down today, and I want to... There wasn't an official statement from her in any press, but I do want to read what the FlyQuest statement itself said. Hang on, let me pull that up. So just that, we're announcing today that current Chief Operating Officer Michael Choi, a.k.a. Dota Genius, has been appointed as the CEO. And then it kind of lists Michael's resume and whatnot, and he says, Tricia's leadership and vision over the last few years grew FlyQuest to where we are today, and as the new CEO, these are very big shoes to fill. I have a strong grasp on where we need to go from here, and our team and players remain committed to the greater FlyQuest cause of showcasing greatness. And then it's just kind of, Ryan Eden's FlyQuest president. We're looking forward to the future under Michael's leadership. So of note here, no statement from Tricia herself. The only thing that came out, I believe, was a tweet from her, quote tweeting it, and it doesn't seem like there was any bad blood, right? It seems like this was a, amicable parting. It doesn't seem like anyone did anything or said anything, but it is really unfortunate. It's a tough one for sure. And Knox, I know you took this pretty hard. I mean, all of us took this pretty hard.
Yeah.
Curly, I think you said on Twitter you were shedding a couple tears.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So, yeah, and I just finding Tricia's tweet here. She doesn't really say a ton. She just says, "My mission at FlyQuest is complete. Stepping down. It's been an honor." She lists some proud moments, and then please continue supporting everyone at FlyQuest, which of course we will do. But this is just, it's sad. It's always sad to see someone go, especially someone as iconic as her. So I just want to hear your thoughts. I mean, how are you feeling now that we've had a few hours to process this whole thing?
I'm still sad and upset over it. I really think Tricia was probably one of the best CEOs in the league currently, hell, even in the West. I mean, you see it all the time. She's invited to talk shows and all sorts of other different things, along with the likes of, like, Steve, Carlos, Joe Marsh. Like, she constantly made appearances as CEO because she was one of the better ones to have a representative for, right? So it just sucks. There's no other way to put it. She was a progressive leader in the scene, and she was a driving force in what FlyQuest is today. And I love Michael. He's great because I've been talking to him a little bit behind the scenes on like stuff not related to this in any way, but just talking with him. He's awesome, but he has some huge ass shoes to fill. So, I wish all the best for her. I wish all the best for him. At the end of the day, I'm just still kind of I'm wearing black in mourning, but also still repping Fly.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and I agree. I am confident in Michael's ability to lead the org, but yeah, I just think, and I said this already, Tricia was just such an iconic leader for the team. It will be very tough. Curly, I mean, let's hear from you. How are you reacting to this? What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
I mean, for sure, instantly, my thoughts, like, I was definitely very sad about the whole thing because as I grew to love FlyQuest as a fan, like, just stepping into the LCS to begin with, like, seeing Tricia as, like, the CEO, as her as that figure that kind of represents FlyQuest and what it embodies, and just, like, the influence she had on all the rebranding and bringing it to its success, as a brand in the LCS, it made me sad because, like, when I think FlyQuest, I think Tricia, and then especially after meeting her at Houston, it was like so, like, being able to meet this person and, like, know how just awesome she is. It definitely made me sad. But as I, like, got through that and just looked more at what was going on, saw that Dota Genius Michael, like, that he's stepped up. I trust that the organization is going to be okay, because, like, I don't think Tricia is the type of person who would just leave without making sure that she's leaving behind something that will be able to succeed, and so I trust that all the talks behind the scene, especially just from what, like, we've talked with Nick, and then I even actually got to talk to Michael a little bit at the booth in Houston. Like, just from all of that, I really do think everything's going to be okay. It's going to be maybe an adjustment, but I don't think we're going to see too much different from the org, and it's just going to be a new evolution of FlyQuest, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, wherever she goes, we will be supporting her. No idea when her next project is. Apparently there is one, from what I was gathering, but
It sounds like there is, from what Fiend was talking about.
Yeah, Fiend, designer for FlyQuest, did mention she does have a new project in her tweet about it. So, looking forward to seeing what that's about. But definitely unfortunate. But hey, you know, this is business. These are jobs. You know, it's not like these people aren't locked into these positions their whole life, right? You know, it's still a business, it's still a career, and people move around all the time. So, yeah, it comes with the territory. All right, let's talk Academy. And I think this time last split, after week 1, we had some concerns. And now,
oh boy, that was probably the only optimistic one for FlyQuest Academy at the time.
Yeah. Which, I will argue, I think it was fair to be a little pessimistic about the Academy team.
No, it was absolutely fair. I think I was just the only one who was optimistic. It was totally fair to be pessimistic.
Right. But hey, 5-1 start to Academy. They beat 100 Thieves Academy first day, and then Cloud9 Academy second day, and then a 1-1 with TSM Academy on the final day. So 5-1 start. They're in sole possession of first place in Academy after the first week, and this team looked good. It felt like this team picked up right where they left off from their kind of out-of-game scaling, right? You've got in-game scaling, and then you've got out-of-game scaling as a team, right? It feels like they kept scaling during off-season, and here they are, and they laid down some smack, for sure. I think there's a couple caveats, and Knox, I'm sure you've got some points there that you want to hit on.
Yeah, but I'll let you get your stuff out first.
Yeah, but I just want to say that this was so encouraging to see the strong start. They do have, looking at it, a moderately easy schedule next week. They've got Golden Guardians Academy, who went 0-6 their first week, and also Immortals Academy, who was kind of middle of the pack. So we'll see. I mean, you know, they should beat up on Golden Guardians Academy, right? And then maybe Immortals would be a good test for them.
Well, we'll see if Lighter is here or not. If Lighter's here, it may be a different story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it could absolutely be a different story. Either way, great start to the season. But I think there are some things that we can point out in particular. So, Knox, I'll turn it over to you. What really stood out to you in these first 3 series from the Academy team?
The first thing I want to point out is, like, why did they have... Like, I actually made a banger meme for once on Twitter, and I just needed them to go 6-0, and they're like, we'll drop the last game, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But, anyway, salt aside, I think my main things that I wanted to point out is Yuji is still aggressive as ever, which I do love to see, but it is also still occasionally biting the team in the butt a little bit.
Right.
I saw this showcased specifically in the 100 Thieves series. There was multiple times where he really tried diving in and almost like kind of 2v1 scenarios, and good lord was he close in pulling those 2v1s off, but he ended up just kind of inting it. And so it looks really, really stupid. People are laughing at him in chat, but it's like, no, he had a plan, and if he was just a little cleaner, he comes out of that looking like a god, right? So,
right.
It is what it is. I'm never going to shame him or tell him, hey, you should like step back a little bit, because that's what I like to see. And over time, as he continues to get better and better, I mean, he's only been here one split, right? Split in a week. So hopefully he'll continue to tone it and adjust as needed, but I still love seeing the aggression. Outside of that, I'll be kind of honest, Philip has not really been what I was hoping for. He looked great in Korea. He was like 400 LP Grandmasters, was having great games, had multiple pop-off games when going through his history of gameplay. And then he came back and he just he wasn't really winning lane. Like, he wasn't, like, hard losing lane either. Like, he was playing weak side, which is what FlyQuest wanted to do because they were playing through mid and bot. But I was really hoping he'd play weak side a little bit better. He just really... I just needed to see a little more. I thought it just... Yeah. I'm rambling on Philip at this point, but hopefully I'll see more in that sense. But the last thing I'll say, Spyrex has been the most pleasant surprise on this team. He's looked amazing so far compared to Spring Split. Not that he looked like terrible or anything Spring Split, but he was just kind of there. He was doing his thing. He had a couple big moments here and there, but like all 6 games, like this man was making plays. He was like creating agency in the game. He looked great. Like, it is probably the biggest glow up on anyone in that team so far. So if Spyrax can continue that, Philip can get to what he was in spring, where his weak side's a little bit better, and then Yuji continues to narrow down his like kind of flipping skills a little bit, this team's going to be good. I'm very, very excited for it. So everything I've seen so far in the first 6 games, outside of the last one, and even then, I'm going to err on the side of there was a bit of limit testing on letting the Talia and Hypers Lee Sin through. I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, I thought Yuji really stood out to me, especially on the Viego. I do hear what you're saying about there's moments where that aggressiveness might get exploited at times. But boy, oh boy, when he is playing out of his mind on that champ, he just looks cracked. Absolutely cracked.
Yeah, he does.
And it's a delight to see, and I think there's something really special there with him. And I think between him and Spyrax, there's something really special in that mid-jungle duo. And, you know, I don't know what the future holds for the two of them, but I hope it involves FlyQuest in some way. So that's pretty... Yeah, it was an exciting week for me, Academy-wise. Curly, I don't know how much Academy you got to see. Did anything stand out? I know you did some VOD review today, so...
I did.
Anything
I did
stand out to you today in those series?
I think... So, particularly from the C9 Academy games I watched today, those were kind of stomps. So I'm guessing... They're not the full gamut of like what the first week has been, but from what I have seen, I do like how Yuji, like, yes, he is still aggressive, but he has also been able to pull it back and be a bit more calculated. And particularly, his pathing has been very, very good because like the first game of the C9 series, he was at every neutral objective right at the perfect time. He was at every side lane right at the perfect time. Like, it was just... He was exactly where he needed to be, and so if that keeps up, I think that's going to be very, very good for the team. And it seems like whatever game plan that the team has practiced is just very effective because, like, I know you're saying you want to see more from Philip on weak side, but at least from particularly the Urgot and Gwen matchup, like, Philip did a really good job of taking what is technically a disadvantaged lane because of the classic range versus melee and being right on par and then just putting himself in the best position when it came to the team fights. So it's like, I think the team has a lot of good synergy and good game plans and a lot of just individual things that they were able to work on in the offseason. And I can see the team going very, very far over the course of the summer split. And again, like, I agree in terms of Spyrax and his evolution because he like was just consistently on top of copy and he worked really well with Yuji to keep ballooning his lead. It's like I'm just very happy with what I've seen this first week, and obviously there are some things that need to be ironed out. Like, sometimes you do dive a little too far, or like sometimes the team fights don't quite work out as well as I want. But overall, everything seems good vibes. Good vibes is what I would say.
Yeah. If Leader doesn't play this week, I feel like a 2-0 is pretty much like guaranteed's not the right word, but basically like expected, right?
Yeah,
but I'm curious, if Leader does play, how much does that change your expectations for that series?
I would say it depends when he comes in. Like, if he comes in, like, because Academy starts Wednesday. assuming he didn't get in today, which I'm assuming he didn't because there's been no like Twitter post or anything. Assuming he comes in tomorrow, there's not really much practice time. There's no like scrim time. He's probably a little bit jet lagged. There's still a very solid chance that it's a 2-0. So I would say yeah. So yeah. I know I said earlier I was like it may not happen if Leiter's here, but thinking back on it, I think it's still a strong chance it's a 2-0 because at this point I think he's not coming in until tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fair.
Andrea says he is not playing this week. So, you know what? It's a 2-0, baby. Send it.
2-0. How do you feel about that Immortals series, though?
I think it'll probably be a 1-1. I think Immortals Academy, they're okay. Like, they're good enough and they're smart enough to take a game off. It's no way it's a 2-0 either way, though. It will be a 1-1.
Yeah, for sure. Well, super exciting. Academy has kicked back off. The League of Legends season has officially resumed. And hey, that is an exciting time for all of us. You know what is also right around the corner? The summer LCS split, of which they announced today. Finals taking place in Chicago, September 10th through 11th. I think that's a great location for a summer finals. Great city, kind of very central, easy for people to get. It's not like it's on the West Coast. Obviously, they had to play around Worlds being in North America, so they weren't gonna just pick like some California city or New York or something like that. So I think Chicago is a great option, and I think it's
right by the servers.
It's right by the servers. They won't have any ping issues whatsoever.
It's gonna be 5 MS. Let's go.
Yeah, they're gonna have like 4
champs queue though.
They're gonna have like 4 ping. Yeah. Well, by that time, no one's gonna be playing Champs Queue anyway, right? Because
also true. Yeah, they're probably all gone.
Champs Queue will be
good for first half of the split.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe like right before playoffs is when it starts dying off. But yeah, Summer LCS. It's literally starts this week. It's a super week to start off, and of course that does mean we will be resuming predictions on the show, and also Nox, you're back to running pick'ems in the FlyQuest Discord as well. Very exciting.
Today.
I think I saw there's a jersey up for grabs to the winner. Is that correct?
Correct. It'll be the Summer Tropical Quest jersey that is up for grabs for free.
Excellent.
If you win.
Yeah, if you win. Right. There's no prizes for second or third by chance?
There is not, no. I was talking to some people in FlyQuest staff, and I can only get the one shirt. But it is what it is.
Hey, fair enough.
Second place, you get to 1v1 Shotlon, and if you win, then you get a jersey.
Yes.
And this is IRL, not in game.
Oh. An IRL 1v1. So like a boxing ring? Like, is this a UFC fight? Like, what are we
I think you guys work out the details of it, but I'm thinking like Street Fighter rules.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I was gonna say like Creator Clash, like iDubbbz did.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that'd be good.
That'd be pretty good. I'd be down for that. All right.
And third place gets to go fight Park Mom for the other jersey.
Oh yeah. Nice. Okay, so Summer LCS, it's here. I only have Curly's power rankings here in my little Excel sheet. So Nox, you and I might be doing ours live.
Nox did his a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
okay.
I just never sent them to you. I apologize.
Well, I might be doing mine live on the show then. Well, how about this? I'm going to switch over to our fancy little presentation thing, so our lovely faces are going to go away. Actually, no, they're not. They're still here. I lied. Hang on.
Technical difficulties.
Not really. more like this is something I wanted to do, but didn't earlier.
This is very fun. This is grand. I love.
Oh God.
I promise. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to window.
Your face is still on screen.
Window capture, not that, but this. Boom! This is back to the Giga scuff just for a moment, you know?
Oh my God.
Just back
Sounds
to
like
the...
I have another overlay to make.
No, you're good. This is fine. This is great, honestly. Welcome to the presentation thing. So here we are. Here's our preseason power rankings.
Preseason.
Preseason, because that was all that I could fit in the...
So you read it off for audio listeners.
All right, yeah. So for audio, here's Curly's. We've got Team Liquid, EG, Cloud9, 100 Thieves, FlyQuest in 5th, TSM, and then bottom 4 are Golden Guardians, Dignitas, Immortals, and CLG. Nox, if you want to list yours off, I'll start putting them in the...
Okay, so number 1 for me, I put Team Liquid.
Okay.
Number 2 is Evil Geniuses. Number 3 is 100 Thieves. Number 4 is Cloud9. Number 5 is TSM.
Ooh.
Number 6 is FlyQuest. Number 7 is Immortals. Number 8 is Golden Guardians. Number 9 is Dignitas. And number 10 is Counter Logic Gaming.
Counter Logic Gaming.
Wow.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, tough task.
How like similar we are at the start, and then
I know it's pretty. It is pretty similar. Okay. So, funnily enough, I also have TLEG to start.
Wow.
And I do think I have 100 Thieves in 3. And what's funny is I think I've got Cloud9. I've got Cloud9 in 4th.
Okay, I was gonna say you're gonna put Cloud9 below 4.
No, Cloud9. I'm putting Cloud9 at 4. And then I think I will put FlyQuest in 5. And then the issue for me and the struggle that I'm having, and maybe you guys can help me out with some arguments here, is does TSM get that final playoff spot? And currently, I am not convinced.
Well, it's 8 people because it's summer, right?
Yeah, it's
I'm
18.
sorry. TSM
You
will
meant
like
upper bracket.
Yeah, I mean upper bracket is what I'm trying to say. What I will do in the meantime is I'm going to fill out the bottom, and I will put CLG at the bottom. I am going to put Dig 9, but I'm going to put Immortals.
Is that a new team?
I think Immortals 8, and then I guess it's Golden Guardians or TSM for 6, 7.
So your argument is, do you think Immortals will get that 6th spot, or do you think TSM will get that 6th spot?
It's Golden Guardians to get the 6th spot.
Oh, sorry, Golden Guardians to get that 6th spot?
And I think what it comes down to me is Maple actually that big of an influence, that big of a positive change to bump them up?
So my opinion on it is that Maple is. And there's going to be a whole bunch of LPL deniers saying, no, he was trash in the LPL. He was never good there. He looked awful. And
well, that's because it's the LPL. I mean, you put, you know.
And I was going to say, they would be correct. He did not look good in the LPL. However, I do think when he comes over to NA, due to his experience and his level of play, he will be good here. And I do believe it will actually drag that team upwards. On top of the fact that it seems like they're not going to be playing Shenyi, they're going to be playing Mia. And from what I've seen, and credit to Ricebox to this, because he's been vouching for Mia since day one, I think Mia's looked better than Shenyi. So I think those two combinations combined, it should be enough to get TSM into that 6th spot. But that's just me. I'm also sitting here with TSM in 5.
I just realized that I ended up creating the... Because I is the aggregate on screen? Yeah, it is. So I think I didn't actually do the math. I just kind of did it in my head. But obviously, Team Liquid and EG are our aggregate number 1, 2. And then we had 200 Thieves. I think that kind of lines up, right? Because
pretty much, yeah.
So I ended up actually just picking the aggregate.
You are the aggregate. You are the
I am the average choice here. All right, so let's narrow this in a little bit. And let's go from bottom to top, but like pretty briefly. Like we'll spend 30 seconds to a minute on each team. And we'll just, for the sake of argument, we'll just use the aggregate, the average of us all to talk about this. So CLG at 10. I don't think the dropping Jenkins and bringing in Dokla is going to do all too much. I am excited to see some big dokes in the LCS once again, but I just don't think it's going to do enough to really boost this team. I don't know if you guys have another thought on that.
I mean, the issue with that team was contracts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Jenkins was an issue too, but in the meta that we're in, where it's very bot lane centric, changing out top laners, even though your top laner was not doing that well,
right?
It's not giving you all that much extra of a boost.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nox, talk to me about Dig. Why are they so low for us? 9th place here.
So I think overall, Golden Guardians look too solid to drop much lower than 8th. They are a playoff level team. I think the moves that Immortals made are enough to send them close to being upper bracket, but I don't think they'll quite do it due to the changes that TSM made. So I think I have them in 7th, and for that reason, I don't think Dignitas has done enough by replacing Fate God with Gamsu. Gamsu, while looking okay on 100 Academy, was not that impressive to me. He was okay, didn't look bad, but I think he's going to come into the LCS and it's going to be probably not the prettiest, I think. He'll look better than Fate God, but it's not going to do much for the team, right?
Yeah.
And so, putting it simply, I think other teams in that like tier bracket did more work to help improve their team than Dignitas did with Gamsu.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's fair. All right, Curly, talk to me. Immortals, 8th place.
I don't think they made the right changes to really improve them all that much. And so, like, I think if you're going to make any big change, it's got to be Revenge. I think over the past, like, year, he hasn't proven to be as effective as a top laner as they hoped he would have been. And so I think that's the real problem point, like, that's holding Immortals back. And then also I just think a lot of it comes to their general approach to League of Legends and like how they consistently performed during the split.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just don't think their changes mean all too much because the problem in my eyes is still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's fair. All right, Golden Guardians for myself. I mean, look, the Lost for Stixay swap, bringing in the coach. As your bot laner, not really doing
Put
anything.
me in, coach? No. Put coach in.
Put coach in. Me. Yeah, I just don't think... I don't think that really boosts them up very much. I think it's a side grade at best. And, you know, I'm a little disappointed in Golden Guardians for going that route, actually. I think there were better options out there. So I think that's why they're stagnant down there. Nox, TSM... You had them the highest, and then me and Curly had them here at 6. So, I mean, I think we already touched on Maple and what he's going to bring. What else are you looking for from TSM this season?
I think overall, I'm expecting the bot lane to look a lot better because there's not going to be the turmoil with Shenyi happening. I think Tactical will be able to work with Mia a lot better. I think Spica will be able to work with Maple a lot easier than Kaido. And I think, honestly, everyone I've seen everywhere is just crapping on Huni. Like, he was just awful, terrible, no good, very bad top laner all last split. And I think that has more to do with the symptoms of what TSM was dealing with and the current meta that was happening than it does with Huni as a player. With a more stable mid and support in place and a more stable mid-jungle duo in place, I think it's going to really allow Huni to kind of, like, take the gloves off a little bit and, like, actually go to bat. So, I think overall, with that said, that boosts that boosts TSM above FlyQuest because it's going to put Huni on the same level as Kumo, if not better. And then with improvements everywhere else, I think this TSM squad is just going to be able to actually finally synergize. Like, I just don't think you can count TSM out.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Curly, I actually want you to talk to me about both FlyQuest. Actually, no, hang on. We're going to skip FlyQuest.
Okay.
Talk to me about Cloud9.
Talk to you about Cloud9. Oh, all right.
Yeah, so we got Jensen in at the mid lane, Fudge back to top. The Summit experiment is over. You get another player that comes over, wins an MVP, and then dips. Really
says nothing, leaves.
Really doing great in terms of our brand building as a league. But anyway, talk to me about this new look, kind of old look Cloud9.
Yeah, new old Cloud9. I mean, so like running it back with classic mid laners seems to have proven effective for Team Liquid by bringing back in Bjergsen. So they're like, C9's like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's bring Jensen back. And as much as Nox and I aren't the biggest fan of Jensen, you do have to admit, for the most part, he has historically proven to be a solid mid laner. So I think having Fudge, he developed so much last year in the top lane to become a very solid top laner. Jensen, who's again a proven mid laner, and then Sven. It's going to be interesting to see him in support. He's going to be the asterisk for me. I just think everything is like actually working together really well for this team because you have people returning kind of to what they know, and I think that should bring them a good amount of success. I think it's going to be limited success because Summit was really good. And so I do think it's a damn shame that he's gone, but who knows?
Yeah, that's fair. All right, here's what we're going to do for 1 through 3. I'm going to assign you both a team and then myself a team. Okay. And you got 30 seconds to argue why they will win LCS Summer. So, Curly...
Even though we all think it's going to be Team Liquid.
Curly, you have to argue in favor of 100 Thieves. Nox has to argue in favor of Team Liquid, and I am giving myself Evil Geniuses.
You gotta save the best for last. Curly's got to go last.
Curly's going last for sure. I'll start with Evil Geniuses. Here's why they're gonna win. Because they just won, baby, and winners keep on winning. Danny, JoJo, they just came back from MSI. They got that sweet MSI experience. Hey, they might have a little bit of that MSI hangover just to start off, I'm expecting. But I think they'll ramp back up as the season goes on. This team is clearly really good still. I think everyone's still looking, at some of the other teams to win. But do not count this team out. I think they are hungry to prove that spring was not a fluke. So I'm expecting them to, well, in this instance, in this theoretical instance, I'm expecting them to come back and stomp once playoffs roll around once again. All right, Nox, TL, why are they going to win?
TL are going to win because they've already beaten EG in a best-of-5 once back in, what's it called? The first tournament before spring. Yeah, they already beat them once in Lock-In, 3-0. It was easy. Spring finals, it was a fluke. They tilted out their minds because Danny got a lucky pentakill. Whatever. It happens. There's too much money in this team. There's too much experience in this team. There's too many things happening for this team to not get first. So for me, there's like no other explanation. Like TL will be in the finals and they will win, most likely against Evil Geniuses, possibly 100 Thieves.
Mm-hmm. All right. If there are any Clippers out there in the chat, I need your action fingers ready. Curly, why will 100 Thieves win LCS Summer?
So with 100 Thieves, I like to consider them a summer flower because summer is really where they thrive. Spring it's where they take notes. It's where they learn what they need to work on so that they can achieve the ultimate success for summer, because spring doesn't matter. That just gets you sent to MSI where you can get burnt out. What matters is getting ready to go to Worlds and show that you are the best of the best. And they proved last year that they could do that. And this year, now they're ready to go back to Worlds again. And there is no way that they are going to let anyone from the LEC or some rookies stop them. They're going to take what's theirs.
I think that was very legitimate and heartfelt, and I firmly believe you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you rooting for 100 Thieves all season long.
So, you want to know my favorite part about all this segment right here?
Sure.
none of us think Cloud9 are going to win.
No, I don't think they will. I think they're a top 4 team, in my opinion. But Jensen coming in after half a season off, I think the Berserker Sven bot lane is a big question mark for me. Not so much Berserker, but just the synergy between the two. Until I see it in action.
Well, here's the other thing. When's Berserker even coming in?
Yeah, when is Berserker going to play? He lost his passport.
So we got what? I think Rice said it. I think we're getting Darshan, Blabber,
Jensen,
King, and is that King and Sven?
I don't know.
See, here I thought that we were just going to like copy Sven and have him play both ADC and support.
Sven and
Sven.
WTF 2 Svens?
Just put him on Senna Yumi the whole game, but let him control both mouses at the same
time. Just give.
But yeah, I don't think. I don't. None of us have Cloud9 in that top 3. All right, I'm gonna.
Oh, I have him in the top 3.
Oh, you do? Yes.
But here's the thing: mine is for the best of ones. When it comes to playoffs, I think it's going to be a very different story.
That's fair. All right, let's zoom out and zoom back to our big talking heads here. FlyQuest, a collective top 6. I think Curly and I each had them in 5th, Nox in 6th. So let's just talk about some expectations for this team. So back to an 18-game summer season. Double round robin, 8 weeks. I think things are going to be tougher this season than they were last season. But I still think, playoffs are a must at this point. After making playoffs in spring, you have to make playoffs in summer. And I think we really want to see a solid 9 or 10 wins. I would hope for 10, if not like an 11th win, right? But I think a solid 9 or 10 wins is right about where I'm hoping for from this squad. And what I'm expecting and hoping to see as well is beating up on the teams below them and at least being close with the teams above them. And I would be fairly satisfied with that heading into playoffs. Nox, sounds like you agree.
I mean, we've even shown that we can beat the teams above us, right? We beat 100 Thieves last split. We beat TL last split. We beat Cloud9 last split, right? I think the only team that we didn't beat that was we beat every team above us, right?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, EG. Even then, we beat EG in playoffs. We beat every team above us.
At least once.
The only one that we didn't beat, I believe, was it Immortals?
Yes, we O2'd to Immortals somehow. It was kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. We're on the same tier as 100 Thieves. They O2'd the Dignitas. It's fine. It happens, right? So, yeah, as long as we can beat teams that are above us, and we can, for the most part, consistently beat the teams below us, and we can repeat that again in summer. I have the utmost faith that we should at least finish with the 50% record. And like Sandy was saying, I'm hoping maybe get a 10th win in there, and if we're really, really good, maybe we can get an 11th win in there. I'd be very, very happy with that.
Yeah. Curly, how are you expecting things to play out summer season-wise?
Honestly, I think all of us, I think there's a good chance we might, myself included, might be under-expecting from them. Because I do think the run back with this squad is going to be very useful for them because they're going to be very familiar with each other. Mm-hmm. I think there's a good chance that we'll see a similar thing where last split, we started out in first place for the first 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Which was more than we expected.
We looked real good.
And that was with just everyone being fresh teams and us having an identical lock-in tournament to last year. Mm-hmm. And so if we... with the changes that I hope happened over summer with the development, with the training, with the reflection, I think there's a good chance that FlyQuest outperforms himself again, because at the start of last split, we were just like, hopefully we make playoffs. And then we made playoffs, and we were the only one to take a game off of EG in their lower bracket run. And so I think there's a good chance they could overperform again. I could see us winning up to 12 games even. I do think that the games in summer, like the way the bracket falls out, it's going to be a bit more split. Like I think it's going to be more top-heavy wins and more empty in the bottom, but we'll see. I don't think we'll see the whole triple tie situation again. So that's another reason I think we could win up to 12. I don't know. Summer's a wild time, you know? It's a very, very wild time. And especially with the durability patch and the fact that the game's going to be very different every other week because of it, I think it's going to be interesting, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think the game definitely is going to feel a little different. I haven't watched any of the LPL games because I think LPL started earlier this week. So I don't know what the meta is looking like over there, but I'm definitely excited to see how things pan out there. All right. Well, we get to, since the LCS season is back, we get to bring back another great segment, which is our predictions. And I've got that ready to go for us here. Okay, so 3 games this week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've got Golden Guardians, Immortals, and a rematch with Evil Geniuses. And fellas, I don't know about you, but I have a very particular idea of what our record should be at the end of this weekend.
As do I.
So let's start with Golden Guardians. Again, reminder, off-season, they replaced Lost with Stixay. Everyone else kind of stayed the same. For my part, I have Fly winning this. That's where I'm landing. Do either of you have anything different on that note?
So have Fly winning it.
Yep.
I also have Fly winning it.
Solid. All right, Immortals.
Easy dub.
Yeah, I think easy dub there. Immortals. Nox, I think I've got a guess as to where you're going with this one.
I actually believe in Fly on this one. I think it's going to be a Fly dub.
Yeah. Well, that's where I thought you were going. So, yeah, I also have a Fly dub.
I was hesitant because I'm very on the fence about it, but I do think it'll be Fly.
Yeah. No, fair enough. And then Curly, how do you feel about this one?
Fly dub. I think we've learned how to not lose to Immortals.
Solid.
Those were charity in the spring. There's no charity in summer split.
Right. And then I'm coming right back to you, Curly, again for the Evil Geniuses match. How do you feel about this one?
Unfortunately, I do think it's going to be an L. I want to say we can bank on Burnout, but because they were relieved of their MSI duty right at like in semifinals, they might have been able to recoup.
That hasn't stopped all the other NA teams in the past having Burnout issues.
Yeah, but Danny's young and JoJo has all the flame. It's fine. All we need to do is make sure that Impact is there. And EG should win.
Yeah, it's fair.
So,
Nox, how do you feel about this matchup?
So I'm also going to go EG. Not for the... Like, I do think Burnout will play a factor in it, but there's just something with this EG squad that has FlyQuest's number. I don't know what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. We took that one game in playoffs, and we were the only team to take a game take a game off of them in playoffs after they dropped to the lower bracket. But yeah, man, I don't know what it is, but I'm going EG.
Yeah, I think I am going EG as well. I just think this team's good, and they were good. They're still good, and they're going to be good. I mean, hey, I argued in favor of them winning LCS again. And I do firmly believe that they're, again, a legitimate contender for that title. But hey, I do think a 2-1 week to start off the split, I don't think anyone would complain about that. And I think that's a very realistic thing. Like I said, I think Golden Guardians made a side grade. I don't think the Immortals changes really, like, massively upgrade their team very much. I forget who did Immortals sign as their jungler?
Kenvi.
Right, Kenvi. Yeah, I like Kenvi a lot. But I don't think between him and Lost went over to Immortals, right?
Yes, Lost also went to Immortals. So
and
it's
Ignar
going to be Revenge, Kenvi, PoE, Lost, Ignar.
Yeah, I just don't think... Yeah, I don't think that's enough to really take over kind of the synergy that we have pre-built on this team already. And then, yeah, EG, I think they're good, and it's going to be a tough one there. I mean, do you guys have any other final thoughts on this week or just like the summer LCS season overall? How are you feeling about it?
If we get a 2-1, I'll be thrilled because it'll be the best we've ever done doing it during a super week because we've only ever gone 0-3 and 1-2.
Yeah.
So
True.
If we can get a 2-1, I'll be very thrilled.
Yep. Curly, how about you? Anything?
I can't wait to watch Takui be one of the top 3 mid laners. I think it's going to be fun. I feel I don't know. I'm just feeling a Takui hyperbolic time chamber arc, you know.
No, I think that's good. Okay. All right. Final topic of the night. Swapping back to our beautiful faces. Jmook and Kadoran top 6 each at Battle of BC4 over this past weekend. We have not had a chance to talk about the Jmook signing from FlyQuest. So this was kind of, for me, this was out of left field. I was not expecting another Smash Melee player so soon. Now, I believe, was Jmook at Summit recently? I really want to say he was. But from what I watched over this past weekend, I was really impressed. He looked pretty sharp. And I do want to say, like, yes, both he and Kadoran did tie for 5th. But I do want to point out who they were going up against in top 8. I mean, the top 4 was literally Leffen, Zane, Hungrybox, and AMSA. Those guys are good. And yes, it does suck to get knocked out and not win. Like, obviously, you want to win, right? But, like, if you're going to drop to anyone, I don't think there's any shame in dropping to those guys.
So I looked. Jmook was at Summit, and he finished 4th.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that is where we noticed him. So, all right, I'm not sure if I'm being trolled by Shot here, or is it Amsa?
Amsa.
Amsa?
Amsa?
Yeah, Amsa. Not Amsa.
Amsa?
Not like
Amsa. Yeah, probably.
Well, my apologies for mispronouncing. Amsa.
Today on Sandy Learns Phonetics.
Today on Sandy Learns How to Pronounce People's Usernames, which I'm never good at. It's like, here's another person who was in top 8, Moki. Is it Moki? Is it Maki? I have no clue. I just say words and hope that they sound okay. But, so top 6 for both Jmook and Kadoran tying with each other. And I think great showing for both of them. Jmook's first tournament under the FlyQuest banner. I watched as much of the top 8 as I could. I will say I felt like Jmook looked a little sharper than Kadoran did. Kadoran had a really tough set that went... I think it was actually his set to qualify into top 8. Yeah, he had to play against Sora/Joshman, and that was a 3-2, and that was actually pretty close. And I felt like, Jmook, he made it to winners winner side in top 8 straight away. He took Hungrybox to 5th game, so that set was really close as well. So I was pretty impressed by what I saw. You know, I didn't know really anything about Jmook before watching this tournament and seeing, you know, so I did go back and watch like a little bit of Summit stuff from him, and I was impressed. But this tournament, I really liked what I was seeing. For those who don't know, he plays Sheik. So you get a lot of those like took took sounds every time you're watching him play. So super great. I'm just really excited to have a second player under the FlyQuest banner. I think that's really awesome, and I am glad that we are continuing to support you know, the grassroots Smash scene. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say about this. I know I just rambled for a while.
Wanted to shout out Shot saying it's like an impossible matchup for Sheik. Like apparently Sheik and the Jigglypuff is like extremely hard. So I guess I'll take his word on that. I do know from the little research I have done, because Kadoran ended up losing to Zane yet again, who is currently the best Marth player in the world right now. So it's a Marth versus Marth matchup, and the guy you're playing against is the best Marth in the world. I mean, that's just also kind of rough. So yeah. Kind of sucks that to break in the top 4, they got their like 2 worst matchups possible. I think you never know. It may have been a different story if they had ended up playing Leffen or Hungrybox, right? And it was like a different, like if it was like swapped metas or whatever, or opponents. So at the end of the day, I think top 6 is very admirable. It's probably one of the better finishes Kadoran's had to date in a somewhat major tournament. And then Jmook looked fantastic. So yeah, just as you were saying, Sandy, I'm, at least for the Smash side, we're League boys. I'm not sure of everything going on in that scene, but I'm very happy with how they finished, and hopefully they continue to do better from there.
Yeah, no, I'm fairly optimistic about you know, where things are headed there. Curly, any thoughts on the Smash side of things?
I'm happy that like to see FlyQuest expanding their game brand more, and then particularly actually because my roommates play Smash way more than me, I'm able to like talk to them about it a little bit, like, hey, FlyQuest signed this player, and like I I actually like sent the little teaser to my friend. I was like, what does it what
the hell?
Oh no,
we killed it,
we lost Curly dead. We lost Curly's
but anyway camera. I was like, what is this? Who is in the scene? Who is a good player? And he was like, I think it's this guy, and I was like, it was actually this guy, and he was like, oh my god. So yeah, it was really cool. It's very exciting. And then nice. I like the poetry of the fact that him and Kadoran got to face each other. Sweet. It's just very nice. The script writes itself, you know. Yeah, it's beautiful. But,
looking ahead at what they've got coming up. Well, just a couple of notes about Jmook. You can follow him on Twitter at Jake, Jake Dorado, Dirado. So please go throw him a follow. He's from Binghamton, New York. So if we've got any New Yorkers,
yo, he's from upstate. Let's go.
Yeah, support your boy, for sure. Looks like according to his Start.gg profile, he's signed up for Get on My Level 2022. First weekend of July. That's the Canadian Fighting Game Championships in Toronto. So he'll be there. And then Kadoran looks like he has, where is it? He's got Double Down 2022 in Vegas, and that is July 8 through 10. Then also Wave Dash in Oceanside, California. So he's got a couple events coming up as well, and I'm sure we'll hear from any others as you know, as they continue to sign up for things and enter tournaments. And we'll of course retweet and keep you guys posted on everything that they're doing. So that is pretty exciting. I'm just excited for more Melee content from FlyQuest, from the org, and from these players. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Okay, I think that is basically it. How about let's do some final thoughts on FlyQuest as a whole as we head into summer, starting with Nox.
Final thoughts heading into summer. I think it'll probably be really banger summer for FlyQuest specifically. I think more than anything, I'm really, really hoping I'm wrong. I like being wrong if you can't tell, because it means FlyQuest usually does better. So I'm really hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping we continue our win streak that we have going against TSM, because we're something like a record of 7-2 against them over the past 2 years, even through 2021, which was abysmal for us. So yeah, I really, really hope that we can break into that top 5, and if we're really, really good and really, really focused, we can maybe even break into top 4, but that's on the maybe on the hopium end, but we'll take it if we can get it.
Just a little bit. Curly, your turn. Fire away.
I'm very excited for the summer. I'm just glad that we didn't make any changes and that we just worked on ourselves. I respect that a lot from the org. And I'm very excited to just see how they perform. And I'm really hoping, like I said earlier, that they overperform for our expectations like they did in spring, especially because we already made our expectations higher. And if I'm being honest, I might be crazy on this one. This might be a hot take, but I think we could sneak into Worlds potentially, depending on how this goes.
How far we go again, Curly?
How far we go if we get there, I don't know, but I think there's a chance that we can make it in, and I would be super hyped for that.
I think that's fair. For my part, I think it's going to be a really exciting summer. Really great to expand further into Melee. Continue to support. Nice to see that it's not just like, yeah, we're sponsoring one guy and then just nothing ever happens. No, we're continuing to expand our footprint in that scene. And I think the team, I'm personally glad that no changes were made. There weren't any reactive changes like, oh, we got to fix things now. I'm excited to just see that we're continuing with the process, sticking with the plan, and maintaining the synergies that we've already built. So I think those are all good things. So I am very excited for summer. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode of Flight Check. LCS returns week 1 starting Friday. I'm not exactly sure what time, but probably earlier in the afternoon. Looks like 5:30 is the first scheduled game. So probably 5 o'clock.
5:30 Eastern.
5:30 Eastern. Thank you for the clarification. So be sure to follow us on Twitter because, of course, with LCS returning, it means the return of me either posting the Let's Go or the Sad Horse on a Beach memes on the Flight Check Twitter. So you can catch those at Flight Check Crew. You can follow myself at SantosDB, Nox at Noxwar with 2 R's, and Curly at Curly_QQ_. Hey, make sure to hop into our Discord as well. Not only for the esports discussion and all things otherwise that takes place there, but for another reason that I'll be expanding on in a moment. And if you missed any part of this episode, the VOD will be up on YouTube tonight or tomorrow morning. The audio version of this episode should go up on Spotify and all your favorite listening platforms tomorrow morning. And if you're listening to that and would like to catch the show live, we do broadcast the episode every Monday night right here at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/FlightCheckCrew. I'm actually going to go first with the shout-out to plugs. I never do this, but it's because I want to make sure I have people's attention. Fantasy LCS for Flight Check people. If you want to join, I created a new text channel in the Flight Check Discord. It's Fantasy LCS. Go into that channel, at me, at Sandy Toes, and say, I want in. There are 8 slots. 3 of them are already taken by me, Nox, and Curly. So there are 5 slots remaining. The first 5 people to at me in that channel get in. I know.
Since I added you first, do I get 2 accounts?
No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
You get to have your girlfriend play. Because we know she does better than you.
Well, no, I don't want her playing because she'll just beat us all. I want a fair fight in this.
For what it's worth, she's not participating in Pick'ems because she's going to be in Malaysia for the next month.
Ah, good. She's giving.
So there's
she's
a
giving.
chance for you all.
She's giving everyone else a chance to win pick'ems for once.
Let's go.
But yes, if you want to do Fantasy LCS, at me in that channel, and hopefully we'll get enough signups to get that rolling, and I'll shoot you some invites and things like that. So that is what I have to say, and also shout out to me not having to work again until Friday. That'll be pretty nice.
Oh, that's a good vibe.
Hey, we love having 4 days off.
Yeah, it's real good. I'm excited to sleep like a normal person.
You should play Valorant with me on Wednesday.
You know, that actually might be possible. Let's sidebar that, and we'll figure that out later. Nox, how about you? Any shout-outs or plugs? I know you've got a lot going on.
Pick'ems are back in the not Flight Check, sorry, I don't host it there. In the Flight Quest Discord. Down below on Pick'em's channel, you'll see them all the instructions are there. Everything closes Friday, 10 minutes before game start. You know the drill. Jersey up for grabs. Other than that, Amateur is going on. Please go watch and support Amateur because I am reffing for it, and it is really, really cool. And Cincinnati Fear just upset Maryville University, and they're going down to quarterfinals. So my dark horse pick is still alive.
Wow.
We'd love to see it. Quarterfinals for that start tomorrow, so go watch that. Outside of that, FlyQuest Academy, Wednesday and Thursday, playing Golden Guardians and Immortals. Should be good. Yeah. All right, Curly, your turn.
Alrighty. I'm gonna shout out Fiend and Doggos, the design team for FlyQuest, for designing a really beautiful summer jersey that I'm very excited to be able to get. More importantly, also, in my opinion, the Pride wear, and then also shout out to Park Mom and everyone else involved in making it a bigger Pride